In Perspectives, words of wisdom from commencement speakers to the class of 2004. Mary Beth Cahill is John Kerry's campaign manager. She's also served as Senator Kennedy's chief of staff. She gave the commencement address at her alma mater, Emmanuel College in Boston. It's about 15 minutes.
Good morning. It's such a pleasure to be with all of you on this singular occasion in your lives. I was sitting out there once myself. And graduates, I join your family, friends, and everyone here at Emmanuel in congratulating you on this important milestone in your lives. We couldn't be prouder. On your behalf, I'd also like to thank our president, Sister Janet Eisner. As you well know, Sister Janet is a true visionary. In her 25 years here, she has turned Emmanuel into a truly first-rank institution, tapping not just the great resources here on campus, but reaching out across the city of Boston. Emmanuel is different from when I was here, but Emmanuel is better. I challenge you to find a city with greater universities, finer hospitals, or better clam chowder. And with Emmanuel soaring in the rankings, let's just say that I'm glad I applied back when I did. Of course, it comes as no surprise that Sister Janet is such a gifted leader. She's an Emmanuel alum. She was even so bold as to admit men. And I guess nobody's perfect. But Sister Janet, if you ever want to run for office, you know my number. I'm sorry that I didn't have the privilege of sharing the stage today with Mary McGrory. But in many ways, I do. Her work as a pioneering journalist in what used to be a man's world inspired so many of us. Mary was 35 before a paper would finally give her a hard news beat. When she finally stormed that bastion, she had the time of her life. And then, in a unique way, she captured the life of our times and became legendary for her sheer joy in her work and the piercing truth of her words. In many, many ways, her life embodies what I hope to leave with you today. We will miss her dearly. It's been a few years, at least half a decade, since I sat where you're sitting today. And it's safe to say that a few things have changed. When I was here, boys had to sign in when they visited, and they were only visiting. At least that's what the rules said. Back then, women here had fewer career choices. Today, the sky is the limit. With a degree from Emmanuel, you can run your own company or your own research lab. Or if you're a real glutton for punishment, you can run a presidential campaign. or even run for president yourself. But one thing I know has not changed. The education I got here changed my life. I guess you could say I over-specialized and under-specialized, and the teachers here hung in there with me every step of the way. I double majored and always had my face in a book. Of course, not necessarily the ones my professors assigned. In fact, Dr. Mason, who was the chairman of the English department, said in any given course, Mary Beth Cahill will have read every book on the subject, except those on the syllabus. One of the many great things about being here today is I get to say thank you to the Emmanuel professors who helped me and all of you learn and grow. And I think we should give them a hand. Back when I was here, a commencement speaker told a graduating class, "Ladies, you can't have it all. You can't have the perfect career, a perfect family, and still have time to breathe." It was a pretty bold thing for this very accomplished woman to say. And years later, I understand what she meant, but I don't necessarily agree. I think you can have it all, just not all at once. It's certainly not easy. You need the right plan, the right mindset, and a whole lot of patience. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, about how to find your own way to have it all. First things first, you need a goal. Now, I'm not saying that you need to decide right now what your life's work will be, running for public office or writing the next great American novel. But I am saying that you should try to figure out what matters to you. And I'm not just talking about what will make you the most money or get you the most fame, but about finding your true passion. When you read the newspaper, what section do you turn to first? Business, politics, arts, education? What issues do you stay up late debating with your roommates? What is it about the world that you want to change? This should be your guide to finding a career that will not just sustain you, but will inspire you. Because what I found in life is that you'll never be great at something unless you love it. And don't be afraid to think big. I know I did. There's nothing arrogant about setting a high bar for yourself. After 4 years at Emmanuel, you've earned the right to do that. Second, no matter what path you take, don't be afraid to lead. That's one of the most important lessons I learned growing up, and that was reinforced here at Emmanuel. My family is from Ireland. My father was an auto worker, and my mother worked at home, raising me and my 5 brothers and sisters. But while my family came from the old country, there was nothing old-fashioned about our thinking. At the dinner table, everyone, the boys and the girls, were expected to have an opinion and expected to defend it. Of course, I was the oldest, so my opinion was often the loudest, but not necessarily the wisest. But nonetheless, over the years, I found my voice and helped to lead as I helped to teach and care for my siblings. Now at Emmanuel, the dinner table was a little bit bigger, and I couldn't put my classmates in a headlock when they disagreed with me. But the leadership lessons were the same. At an all-women's college, it never occurred to us that women couldn't lead. We were the class presidents, the newspaper editors, and the valedictorians. And that's exactly the mindset that I took to Washington, along with a whole lot of Boston attitude. Keep in mind, there are all sorts of ways to lead. Some people, like many of those I've worked for, are comfortable being out in front, on television, on the Senate floor, making speeches. Others excel behind the scenes and don't like giving big speeches on big occasions. Take me, for example. I'd be lying if I said that I was totally at ease up here. My strengths lie in organizing, in bringing people together, and moving them toward a common goal, not in delivering commencement addresses. That's what I've done throughout my whole career in Washington, from my first job as a receptionist for my former congressman, Father Drinan, to my current job for Senator Kerry. Above all, I've learned that being a good leader means helping others, not just yourself. No matter what you do, you've got to look out for those just starting out. Once you've climbed the ladder, don't pull it up after yourself. Reach down and give other people a hand. If people hadn't done that for me, believe me, I wouldn't be standing here today. No, while being a leader can be incredibly rewarding, it isn't always easy. And that's my third point. Whatever path you take, don't always expect a smooth ride. I learned early on that politics is a rough business. Lots of big egos, wins and losses, ups and downs. And even when you're doing the right thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's going to agree with you. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, do what you feel in your heart to be right. You'll be criticized anyway. That's why you need thick skin and why you can't take anything too personally. So far, the press in Washington has been pretty good to me, but I know that today's darling is tomorrow's dog. If I took it all to heart, I wouldn't get out of bed in the morning. But if you really believe in what you're doing and you're willing to take some risks, you'll be able to weather the bumps along the road. I can guarantee you there'll be plenty of them, but as trying as they may be, you'll always learn from them. Rest assured, I've done a fair share of learning in the last 6 months. Still, I would never have had this opportunity if I hadn't been learning for 50 years. Reaching your goals takes time, so don't expect immediate gratification. I started out stuffing envelopes and answering phones. Years ago, when I worked for another Massachusetts congressman, some people in the office assumed because I was a woman, my job was to fetch coffee, not to make policy. Things are a little different today. I guess you could say that things have changed. But what hasn't changed over time, though, are the people in my corner. In the face of every challenge, I've been fortunate to have friends and family and great mentors who've encouraged me and stuck by me. And that's my fourth point, the importance of loyalty. As I said before, in politics, you face storm and sunshine. And the real test of loyalty is who will stand out with you in the rain. You won't believe how many good friends have come out of the woodwork since Senator Kerry clinched the nomination. But the real question is who will come with you and stay with you on the campaign that's an impossible long shot. Who will cheer you on when it seems the odds are against you and the obstacles appear insurmountable. It's about which friends will show up at your door with a box of tissues and a sympathetic ear when everyone else has turned against you. I guess it's sort of like being a Red Sox fan. Of course, being loyal doesn't necessarily mean that you approve of everything someone says or does. I don't agree with everything my brothers and sisters do, and I don't hesitate to let them know. But while I can take them to task, don't you even think about it. If you do, you'll quickly learn what it means to deal with a raging Cahill. Oftentimes, when you're running a campaign or a Senate office, the ultimate responsibilities for things falls on your shoulders. And let me tell you, it can make you nervous. But there's one thing I want you to remember, and it's that you're never, ever alone. Today, you leave this college as part of a long tradition of accomplished Emmanuel women, and now, Emmanuel men. You have the friends and teachers you've met here, and all the people who loved you before you came here. So many of my friends and family are here today, including my college classmates. You talk about loyalty. Finally, and most important of all, no matter what you do, don't forget to have fun. If you don't look forward to going to work in the morning, you're in the wrong job. No, I'm not going to kid you. Running a presidential campaign is not all fun and games. But no matter how hectic it gets at headquarters, there's never a day that goes by that I am not loving my work. And everything I've done has left me with good memories and great stories, much embroidered, to tell in my rocking chair to my 14 nieces and nephews. So I've been lucky. I ran my first congressional race when I was 27, and my first presidential race when I was 49. And I didn't meet the man of my dreams and get married until I was 46. The bottom line, I didn't get what I wanted all at once. It came piece by piece. But today, I couldn't be happier or more grateful for the life that I have. And I wish all of you the same. So, congratulations, class of 2004. You've worked hard, and now it's paid off. Now go out and seize the opportunities ahead of you. I wish you good luck and an exciting journey. Thank you very much.